Yesterday's lesson was a little bit different. It wasn't really a lesson, like a grammar lesson or vocabulary or pronunciation or whatever. It was really kind of like a change in your behavior or your routine. So it was all about making a study plan. And basically what I proposed was 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week. So for a total of 30 minutes per week studying. And it's not too much, but I think it's a good place to start because it's really, really important that you study consistently outside of class. It's great if you come to class, and it's great if you watch my videos every Monday. However, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you really should be reviewing, practicing, studying English. So to start is pretty easy. It's going to be my challenge is 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week outside of class. So we'll just start with a little warm up speaking question so I can kind of figure out what our routines and habits are like. So, Jessica, how about you? How often do you study? Be honest. And do you think you can commit to studying 10 minutes per day, 3 days per week?
Okay, teacher. I study now and then
Mm-hmm.
because of my work, but 2 or 3 times a week
Mm-hmm.
through books, social media, YouTube channels like
Mm-hmm.
yours, and with the
Okay.
experience, there are of great help.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you think you can commit to studying 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week extra?
I think so. Yeah, because I really like the language English, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn it.
Well, great. Okay, nice. And how about you, Howo? How often do you study nowadays?
Thank you again, teacher. I often watch video or English.
Now is, make a little suggestion for you. My suggestion, if you're trying to get started, is maybe I would say like Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday, maybe study. And then on Tuesday, you have the free class with me. So you can take the free class on Tuesday, study for 10 minutes on Wednesday, study for 10 minutes on Friday. On Monday is the new video, watch the video, study for 10 more minutes. So that's going to really help you to be consistent. So, just a few pointers on how you can actually do this. Uh, of course, you want to plan ahead so that you have time dedicated to doing this. So, like, think, okay, what time is best for me? Do I want to study at night before I go to bed? Do I want to study in the morning? Do I want to study at lunchtime? So, actually plan ahead and figure out what day and what time you want to do this. And of course, eliminate your distractions so that you can focus. So that means, don't be on your phone, of course. Like, actually take your phone and put it in a different place, or just have it so that you cannot see it, so that you're not putting it in your hands. I would really like set a timer, actually set a timer. Just a basic, any kind of timer on your phone is fine, but, or an old timer, a smartphone app, you set the timer on your phone and then you put it away so that you're sure that you actually spend 10 minutes doing this. That's really important, right? And be disciplined, right? Consistency is key. It's very important to be consistent. I think it's better to do 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week, than 30 minutes one day. I think you want to be consistent and be doing it often. So there were some really good things that I heard you all doing. You had some listening to music is fantastic. Watching series, watching movies in English is great.
Okay.
Putting the subtitles on is great. That's all awesome and fantastic, of course. But let's do something aside from that. So when we're doing this 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week, let's not include watching series or watching TV or listening to music. So for this challenge, this study plan, let's not do listening. I love listening, but I know that you all do lots of listening and watching. I know that. And that's great. But we need to do other kinds of studying more than just listening and watching. So for this, it's not included in the 10 minutes of studying, listening and watching. That's great. Keep doing it. Don't stop. That's fantastic. But this 10 minutes of studying is extra, additional to the listening and the watching that you do. So here are some methods. Here are some ways, some exercises that you can use to study. The first thing I highly recommend for verbs is to have a piece of paper that you conjugate all the verbs, so subject plus verb in all tenses, right? So I'm talking like present simple, past simple, future tenses. Then we have like any yeah, exactly, right? You would have like you will also have like present perfect, past perfect, all your grammar tenses that you know, and then you need to write on a paper with a pen or pencil, you need to conjugate the verb. So like this. So for example, if your verb is, let's just use a verb here, breathe. I don't know, to breathe. I'm just a random verb. Then you need to write this with a pen in your hand on a paper, right? I breathe. You breathe. He, she, it breathes, right? And so for each paper, we breathe, they breathe. Sorry, the formatting isn't good because I'm doing it on my computer, but organize it on your paper, right? So you need to conjugate the verb. That was present simple. Now on the same piece of paper, write it again. The past simple. So now I write it again. I breathed. You breathed. She breathed. He breathed. I mean, and you do it for every verb, whatever the verb is. Okay, so I have opened. You have opened. So you write it on a piece of paper. One side of the paper is one verb. So you're always writing this, you're conjugating it, and then you can go back after you write it all and after you conjugate it all, you go back and you study the paper that you wrote and you read it and say it out loud to yourself. So that's for verbs. That's the main study exercise that I have. You need to conjugate the verbs in writing on a piece of paper so that the piece of paper only has one verb with all the verb tenses that you should know. And there's more than this, right? But so that's the first exercise that I like to do for verbs. And it should always look the same, right? I mean, you're going to have the same subjects. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. And this is what you write. You write I plus the verb. Pick any verb that you learn, any new verb, any verb you haven't seen, and you conjugate it, subject and plus verb, in all tenses. And then you keep the paper so that you have like a collection of papers with new verbs and all their conjugations. So it's really important that you do that with a pen or pencil in your hand on paper. Don't just type it in the computer like I did, actually write it down. When you write something, you remember it. When you type it or take a picture, you don't remember as well. So it's really important that you write with a pen or pencil in hand. And one more technique I'd like to show you is basically, let me find it here. This one is for vocabulary now. So the first one was for verbs, specifically for verbs, but the second one is for vocabulary, any vocabulary that you need to know or remember. So I think this method is simple, but it's really good. So very basic method. You take a piece of paper and you fold the paper in half. On one side of the paper, you write the vocabulary word. On the other side of the paper, you write the meaning, the definition. So you can open it and you can see vocabulary word definition, but when you study, you fold the paper in half. And then you look at only the new vocabulary word, you do not see the definition, and you say the word to yourself, and then you think, do I understand this word? Do I know this word? Can I say the definition? If I can see the word and understand the meaning and explain the definition, good. If I cannot do that, then I can look at the other side of the paper to help me. So this method is very, very basic, but it's very effective for learning new vocabulary, right? New words. How do you remember all these new words? Well, a very basic little technique exercise here. And all you need is a piece of paper, fold it in half. On one side, the word, on the other side, the definition. And then you can also do the opposite. Only read the definition. Only read the definition. Don't look at the new words. And when you read the definition, can you recall the correct vocabulary word? So you can do the opposite as well. Look at letter B, pen and paper. This is important. One thing I always see with students in the classroom is that they don't take notes. And when I say take notes, I mean with a pen or a pencil in your hand, writing on paper. Students always do this. They just go click and they take a picture and then they just sit there and look at the whiteboard. But that's not going to help you. taking a picture of a word or a piece of paper or a verb. Taking a picture puts the information in your phone. When you write, the information goes in your brain. So that's why I say that you should always take notes, pen and paper, the old-fashioned way, not smartphone pictures. So that's important for the verb exercise that I showed you, the conjugation exercise, and the vocabulary exercise with the folded paper. We're always doing this with pen and pencil, not taking pictures, not typing on the computer. This is something that I am a big believer in because when I learned French, I always did this. French to French dictionary, not but English to English dictionary is your friend. And I don't mean translation. I mean like the actual dictionary. And you can buy a book if you want. You can buy a book, a paper dictionary, or you can go to dictionary.com, for example. So any word that you don't understand, whatever the word is, I'll just pick a hard word here. So it's important that you do an English to English dictionary because you should read the definition in English. And then you can also see the definition. You can see, let's do another word. I don't know, an easy verb, just so I can show you the concept here. Okay, so you don't know a word, you put the word in the English dictionary, and then you get all of the definitions in English. Okay, part of speech, adjective, open, not closed or barred at the time, as a doorway by a door. To move from a shut or closed position. Oh, open is also a verb. Open is an adjective and a verb. And then you read, and look, you see a word that you don't understand. So you click on the word that you don't understand, and now you have the definition of that word right here. So this is a really effective way to study, especially if you're upper intermediate or advanced. You should take time reading the dictionary in English. I know it's not the most fun activity. I know that you don't want to do this on Saturday night or Friday night. Like, it's not super fun, but it's very effective. And every time you don't know a word, you just click on the word and then you can get the definition of this word. And then if you want synonyms, you go to thesaurus.com. So this is a free website called dictionary.com. Also has a app on your phone. And looks like they have some kinds of word games here, word quizzes. I've never even seen this, but if you're an advanced student, maybe you can take the quiz, right? So what I'm trying to, oh, look, okay, here's the quiz here. Okay, what does verbicide mean? Whoa, I don't even know what that means. So anyways, what I'm saying is English to English dictionary is very, very good. Don't translate. Just don't translate if possible. That's a very bad habit, is just always translating the word to your language. Not a good, effective technique. Almost finished. Thanks for listening to me. I'm talking a lot today because I just want to teach you this. Okay, here's one thing you can do that nobody likes to do, but you can just take a selfie video of yourself on your phone, speaking in English, record yourself speaking in English. And when you're done, watch yourself and listen to yourself. And I know that many students don't like to do this. Oh my gosh, teacher, no, don't make me do that. Don't make me listen to myself. But if you record yourself, take a video of yourself speaking in English, listen to yourself speaking, and try to fix your mistakes. Try to critique your mistakes. And here is one thing that you can do for listening that's more of a speaking practice, honestly. This is a speaking exercise you can do. Listen to a podcast or anything really, any native speaker that you can stop it. You can pause and listen to someone speak English and then try copying what you hear. Try to say it back exactly like the native speaker did. Focus on intonation, focus on sentence stress and emphasis, the rhythm, the pronunciation. So if you have a podcast on your smartphone, you can listen to an American speak, stop the podcast, try to say it exactly what they said back. So just a reminder, almost finished, that watching TV in English is fine. That's great. I'm not going to tell you not to watch TV or listen to music. I love to do that too. But it is not a complete study plan. So for everything we're talking about, we're not going to watch TV or movies or listen to music. All the studying that we're going to do is going to be writing, reading, other stuff. It's not complete. It's not a complete method or plan, just watching or listening. So be sure to focus on reading and writing when you study. And most importantly, like I said, is to actually write things down, write on paper with a pen in your hand, the old-fashioned way. You know, it's very important that you actually write things down. Listening is important, but it needs to be balanced with the other skills. So listening should be maybe listening is like maximum 20% of your studying right now. Maximum listening or watching, right? You should do it. It's important to do that, but it should not be the only thing you're doing, and it shouldn't be the main thing that you're doing. So that's my goal. That's my challenge to you. Try for 1 month. If you can do it, 1 month, 10 minutes a day of studying, 3 days a week. So that's level 1. If you can do this, then we can do more in the future. But the reason I want you to do this study plan is so you improve, so you learn English fast. If you don't study outside of my classes, you will not learn English fast. It's not possible. You have to consistently practice and study.